Wow. We have lots of stuff happening after the market closed here today. Lots of big news. Blackrock, you probably were not guessing this is what's going to happen here today. What they did will probably shock you. We have some other news of certain companies buying, certain companies selling Bitcoin here today. We have news that Japan actually just had a stop. They're trading, or maybe it's pre-market, for Tuesday, and they actually had a circuit breaker go off again after the crazy drop yesterday. So I want to go through all this. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn on the bell notification underneath the video so you can see future videos just like this as soon as I make them, because some of this is time sensitive. Last night we did a stream really late at night, just from the car, or a video from the car. And yeah, you want to get those videos as quickly as possible because some of it is time sensitive. If you want to trade crypto, you can check out the link underneath the video to Margex. We placed several trades this morning, and the one that's up the most is up 252%. The other ones are up 13%, or now it's a little bit more because it was 13% when we were sitting around 54. I haven't checked it since then, but they're looking quite green. I did catch the falling knife actually fairly well with one of the trades right at 49.5. So if you want to do that, there is a link underneath the video. There are different ways to trade. A couple different things real quick that I do. One, you can try to buy it right at previous support. That's where you might go a little bit higher leverage. Or if you're saying, okay, I don't want to try to catch that exactly. Maybe I'll go lower leverage, 3, 5x, something like that. And yeah, if we're at 50K, for example, well, we'd have to go all the way to 40, which would break a lot of support levels that we've seen in the past, a lot of resistance levels. You can do that and then play it a little bit safer. And you can do that with a bunch of different cryptos. I put trades in on Bitcoin, Solana, and Ethereum here today. But let's get into what's happening. As you can see, Bitcoin actually just touched $56,000, about $200. This is a big move. After hitting $49,000 this morning, now back up, what is that, 15% from the bottom? That's a huge move. And it's not just crypto that's rebounding. And to be clear, like, this was peak fear. VIX was at 62 at one point here today. The crazy thing is, investors who have purchased U.S. equities whenever the VIX is above 50 have never lost money over the following 12 months. Now, maybe the day after, the week after, the month after, you might lose money, but not following the next 12 months. This is a fact. Now, it could be different this time, but it's unlikely based on previous results. And yeah, I think you can kind of throw crypto in that bucket too. Zero hedge, circuit breaker triggered for Nikkei 225 futures. The trading was suspended after touching the upper limit. Now, this just came out. They had another breaker triggered, but this one's to the upside. The market is actually up 7.3% here today after falling down 13% yesterday. So a huge recovery. Honestly, I haven't heard much news on this. Maybe it's that they're expecting one of the Feds to come in and kind of save the day, or maybe there's just an overreaction. I'm not exactly sure. Now, there's still some uncertainty. For example, Donald Trump said Israel is going to be attacked tonight by Iran. Iran apparently has decided to attack Israel. This is coming from Foreign Minister Katz. So, yeah, there's some uncertainty tonight, but the market doesn't really seem to care too much. With Bitcoin at 56,000, a lot of people are thinking, maybe we're back. Now, I was screaming today. I was screaming that there are reasons why the market's falling down, but this is a good time to be buying. Don't be fudded out, essentially. And FUD is not always misleading or false information. I think a lot of people just kind of stereotype it as always being wrong. FUD is fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and there's reason to feel the FUD sometimes, right? Even if you're bullish, you could feel uncertainty about what's going to happen. And yeah, there's still a lot of uncertainty out there. Now, I didn't even realize this was up. Let's move on. Semler Scientific just bought another $6 million of Bitcoin. They've also filed to raise $150 million more to buy Bitcoin. Since adopting a Bitcoin strategy on May 28th, 2024, the company has purchased about $63 million worth of Bitcoin. which is 929 Bitcoin. So now they're talking about buying maybe 2.5 times more. That's pretty crazy. So they're going to triple, quadruple their stack of Bitcoin. And let's see how Semler Scientific actually did today. SMLR stock obviously down a lot because Bitcoin was down a lot after hours. I would not be surprised to see a decent jump tomorrow if Bitcoin can hold its place. But they're not the only ones buying here today. They're not the only ones buying recently. Apparently Capula Management, which I've never heard of, but it's the fourth largest hedge fund in Europe, reported having $500 million in Bitcoin ETF holdings. Now, this isn't like they bought that all today, but they just announced it. So they're adding on this dip. Mr. 100 also buying significant amounts of Bitcoin here today. I think even since the last video, buying more, going from at the beginning of the day, 70,306 to now 72,152. So buying about 1,850 Bitcoin throughout the day. Now, I'll get to Blackrock in a second, but obviously meme coins fell pretty hard today with the rest of the market, but meme coins are still one of the best performing assets and seem like they're really here for this next cycle. Of course, with the elections coming up, there are a lot of Trump memes. The one that's so interesting to me right now is Trump First Blood, and I am a holder of this token, to be clear. Trump First Blood kind of plays on what happened, obviously, this summer. They tried to take Trump down, but they underestimated the true power. Phase 1 token pumped 350x. So yeah, this went up significantly recently. They're doing a bit of a marketing campaign right now. And let me just scroll down because they did have a bunch of metrics about it. 3,500x. They have information on their Twitter about it. They hit a 70x last night. Market cap is still tiny at 234K. They crushed in their first 3 days after launching on Solana, built a titanium foundation from which to keep building, continually onboarding more coal influencers, still crazy early and extremely undervalued. So you can buy it with some Solana if you want to do that. Great. Of course, make sure you understand the risk in investing in meme coins and investing in new meme coins. But if you do want to, you can check out their Twitter page, Trump First Blood. But what is the title about? What's the thumbnail about? It's about Blackrock. This is the thread for tracking Bitcoin ETF inflows and outflows. So this was closing around 53,500 with big volume days. I mean, we're talking about $5 billion plus in trading today. BITB was the first one in with $3 million of inflows. GBTC, $69 million outflow, with the mini ETF having $22 million in inflows. Fidelity with $58 million in outflow. ARKB with $69 million in outflow. HODL with $3 million in inflow. BlackRock with zero. So overall, it was a net negative $168 million day. Now, some people will be thinking, okay, why? Who's buying if the ETFs aren't buying? They've been such big buyers. Couple key things that I take from this. One is that BlackRock, even on a day like this, did not have any outflows, which is crazy, with $2.92 billion traded. Like, the way I see this, and they've had several days like this, when you have this much traded, the chances that just like naturally you'll have a zero inflow or outflow day, maybe 0.1%. Maybe that. I mean, think about that. $2.92 billion. That's $2,920 million of IBIT traded, and there's not 1 million in or out. So what I think they're doing is essentially on days that there would be an outflow, I think they're buying either within one of their other portfolios, or they have some buyer that they've had an agreement with, which is basically like, hey, yep, whenever there's an outflow day, we'll help you out and we'll give you those inflows. I'm guessing it's more the former, in that they're buying within their own portfolios. I think, when they have these zero days. I think they're actually coming with their own portfolios and buying up their own ETF. And there could be a couple different reasons for why they do that. One, maybe it just looks better. They think it looks better to be the fund that always has inflows. The worst that they have is a 0 day. Maybe it's that they don't want clients to see that other clients are taking money out of the ETF. Maybe it's because, the days that they have outflows are actually naturally good days to buy the dip, right? There could be a variety of reasons for it, but I think they're coming in as the buyer of last resort and saying, no matter what, we're going to be buying when there's an outflow day. Something else noticeable about this is a lot of the big money, a lot of the other platforms, a lot of the other companies are having outflows. I mean, there are a couple inflows there, but they're small. But ARCB, Fidelity, GBTC all had outflow days. So hedge funds are, they're emotional, just like we are, right? They can make mistakes. They can panic sell when there's uncertainty. So that's important to remember. During the bull run, they will at some point most likely unwind their positions, the hedge funds at least. Now, if these are in retirement accounts, if they're in, if Blackrock has IBIT within other portfolios, most likely they're not dumping it into a bear market, right? But other institutions may. Overall, I don't think it's that bad a days, actually, when you consider that the market had one of the highest VIX days that we've seen ever. This is the second highest, only to the COVID crash since the global financial crisis. This was max fear. And this line doesn't even do it justice. It was actually up here at the peak today. So yeah, considering that, I don't think $168 million of outflows is actually that bad. So whales are buying. BlackRock is the buyer of last resort. JP Morgan, I don't know how I missed this. I know some XRP fans are out there. JP Morgan shocked the crypto world by announcing that it's accepting XRP for credit cards and mortgages. So this is interesting. I actually saw a couple articles saying this as well. It was from a couple days ago. Now, I don't know exactly what this entails, if they're accepting more cryptos as well. But yeah, I can understand why some people might be excited for this. If they think XRP is going to continue to go up as well, maybe they want to buy that and then be able to pay off their mortgage with it one day or something like that. Now, I don't hold a lot of XRP myself by any means, so, do with that information what you will. Dell Technologies to reportedly lay off as many as 12,500 workers. That's 10% of their workforce. It's a big number, and that's something that kind of scares, I think, the Fed. I'm sure the Fed maybe knows that this is coming. They probably know that these numbers are going to come out at some point. But this may be one of those things where it pushes them even more likely to rate cut with some of the other things that are happening with what happened today, with all the fear. Maybe they come in and they say, we're just going to ease this a little bit. We're going to lower by 0.25% or something like that. I would not be surprised if that happened in the next few weeks. And if that happens, well, I can tell you, crypto is probably going to love that. And obviously, it will depend on the thoughts on whether we're going into recession and whether this is because we're going into recession, or if they think, okay, we're going to land this perfectly and we're going to miss the recession. We're going to go to a lower interest rate environment, more liquidity, all that. I actually just published a video where Raul Paul talks about every kind of metric that's really important right now in the market, that's driving the markets. If you want to check out that video. It's my last one on my channel, so definitely click and watch that video. But if you want to trade crypto, there is that link to Margex underneath the video, as I said, or CoinW or Blowfin as well. It's interesting. I would not be surprised to see us chop around a little bit here. This was a quick recovery. A lot of the time on recoveries, we come up and then we kind of come down a little bit, and then we make the move either up or down afterwards. I would not be surprised to see some consolidation, unless, the traditional markets are just bouncing back hard tomorrow, just like we saw for the Japanese stock market. I think that would be good. I would love that as someone that put in some trades here today. But you always have to hope for the best, prepare for the worst. So make sure that you are ready for what's yet to come. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. Let me also know what you think about Blackrock. That was quite an interesting day for them today. Thank you so much. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.